throws the drink in Danny's face and the cup. I mean, it's a solo cup.
Head.
I mean, it's a plastic solo cup. Like, let's call it what it is, right?
Here's my question, though. Did Janet face any consequences for this is my question. And if Andy doesn't shame her for doing that at the reunion, it's complete bullshit because he's a man.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
We are here talking about The Valley, Season 3, Episode 18, Season Finale, The Valley of the Damned. But before we do that, I'd like to ask everyone to head over to YouTube and hit subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the socials. Give us 5-star reviews and comment. And thank you if you've already done those things.
Thank you.
So we start out at... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You want to talk about... So let's just talk about 2 things. The first one being Jax's fake Smart Water partnership post that he put out, that Brittany was doing a podcast with Schwartz and totally called Jax out for doing this. Fake. It's saying it's fake. And then
Smart Water reached out to Brittany.
Right.
Not only
DM'd her.
Right. It's like, this is not real. We do not.
It's not.
We're not supporting
real.
this. Right.
There's not a partnership. And then Jax responded by saying that he was tricked.
Mm-hmm.
He was,
But isn't
scammed.
he dating like a publicist?
Absolutely.
Like, wouldn't the publicist know whether something was legit or not? I mean, hello.
Yes. And then
but there's more to it.
Dodie enters the chat.
Yeah, there's more to it.
And she says, I don't typically get involved, but I have to because, and she shows this account or this post from a company, like an AI, where Jax was using that company, that app or whatever, to make the fake.
That's what he put in his screenshots, saying that he was duped. He made it up. He made it up, his duped screenshots.
I mean, it's wild. It's
unbelievable.
It's just crazy. And then,
it's
so
typical.
that was one thing.
It's typical.
The second thing is that Janet seems to be a little nervous because she's backstepping a little bit. Apparently, she was interviewed. Now, forgive me. I don't have my contacts in, so I can't put my readers on. So I have to take my real glasses off and put my phone screen 2 inches from my eyeballs. So Janet was interviewed, Reality Blurb reported, and there's 2 things I wanted to point out. She said that the shift in fan sentiment amid season 3, she added that because of the hate she previously received, she learned not to take any of it too serious, meaning the fans' reaction. To be honest, because I got so much negativity in season 1 and 2, I really had to make it my priority not to put value in what people thought of me either way, and just really concentrate on what are my actual friend group and family's responses to me. That was the one piece of bullshit she said. Then she was asked about a reconciliation with the Bookos. Janet hinted it was possible. We've seen them, this is a quote, we've seen them a couple of times at Jasmine and Melissa's wedding, and then obviously at the reunion. And I do think there were important conversations that we hadn't had yet, especially at the reunion, where I felt like, okay, we're making some progress here, or we're at least willing to have the tough conversations and see each other's perspectives. Then she goes on to say, kind of defending her and Jason for defending, Jax, basically saying that, his actions were, Danny wasn't as bad as Jax. She actually said that. And she and Jason wanted to take a soft approach with Jax because they knew if, they yelled at him and were too strong with him, he wouldn't have continued with the treatment that he needed. Jax doesn't give a fuck about you, Janet. Don't give yourself that much credit. It doesn't matter what you said or did for Jax. He doesn't care about you. or Jason. Stop it. So it seems to me that she's backtracking a little bit on the whole Danny being a monster. And this is what I'd like to say. I'd still like to see, I'd like to see a season now that Lala joined the cast without Janet and just Lala, because Lala seems to think that Kristen and Zach are defending Nia and Danny because of the fans' reactions. It seems that Janet is now, I think that Janet is doing this now.
That is one thing that Lala continues to say that drives me crazy. That
it drives
Kristen
me crazy too.
Is living in the comment section, which is so not Kristen. We have known Kristen.
We all know Kristen Doty enough to know that that's not true.
And even Zach. Zach is not the kind of person to live in the comments.
Mm-mm.
And the fact that that's what she's standing on annoys the F out of me. It really does.
So I want to see Lala on this show and how she moves without Janet there. Because without Janet, Brittany and Lala are going to treat Danny and Nia way differently, because they both sat there at that hut in Mexico and they were like, we don't care if you drink. We don't care if you drink.
Yep.
Because Janet wasn't there.
Right. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. So, it's needless to say, we were happy that this is a season finale, because last week I was so mad. Remember how mad I was last week that we had another episode?
You don't really get
I was mad. I know, I was so mad.
And we do not need a 3-part reunion. I'm sorry. They're really stretching this way too much.
I know. But I'm very thankful we have people that are actually watching us on YouTube that stopped watching The Valley, that they were as frustrated as I am and you are.
Yes.
But they watch us to get to get what's going on. And I thank them, because that's we are doing God's work here. That's what we are doing.
Thank you.
In case you're wondering.
Yes, we are. And we will continue to do so for you.
Look at Lori. She's like, oh my goodness, this is where we're at.
You're down the rabbit hole, Laura.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
Here. You're down the rabbit hole.
Okay. So we start out at Kristen and Luke's house. They're decorating for Halloween. Brittany and Cruz are out trick-or-treating with Janet and Cameron. It's the day this is the day before Brittany's big Halloween party. Then we see Lala meets up with Nia at the coffee shop.
Again with the outfit. I thought you had on a Halloween outfit.
She is the walking poster child for Shein.
She looks like a hooker. I wrote down. She looks like a hooker. Shein.
Exactly.
I guess
exactly.
Shein.
You're supporting slave labor, by the way. Child slave labor, Lala.
But they're at a coffee shop. Why is she dressed like she's going to a club? She looks like a hooker. And I like Lala.
Like, oh my God. What? I didn't
She's
know what
a beautiful
was going
girl.
on.
She does too much.
I thought she had on a Halloween costume. I really did. I was like, oh, look, she's ready already. I did. I swear to God, I did. I was like, oh, look.
She was a hooker for Halloween.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nia looks like a normal mom. I mean,
exactly.
It's like, oh my goodness.
But Lala will say she's wearing a prairie dress.
Yeah.
Because she dresses modestly.
Yes.
And I don't mind, by the way, I don't mind commenting on Lala the way she looks, the way she dresses, because what she's saying about Danny being short and whatever, Polly Pocket, whatever, fuck you, Lala. I have no problem commenting on your physical appearance, and I don't do that.
I mean, I think she's beautiful.
She is a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think she should be dressing like a hooker.
Right.
Okay, we agree about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. And sometimes a hooker pirate.
Very piratey. Even again today, it was a little piratey. I was like...
So Lala starts out with, when you block me like that, when she physically blocked her when they were trying to talk in Mexico, she's like, it was number one shocking. I feel like I have to be careful when I'm around you. And Nia said, well, I've heard that before. Like, why? She said, maybe it's because of the way I grew up. And then Nia goes into, my mom and dad, they were married and divorced twice. There was infidelity in the relationship, and my mom and we grew up in shelters, but I'm confused because she then says that they were bouncing around to different people's home, but she was ultimately raised by her dad.
Well, maybe her dad.
She said she went there to her dad when she was like 6 or 7.
So maybe her dad ultimately got custody. I think that was the deal.
So up until she was 6 or 7, she and her mom bounced around between shelters and
other people's
couch
homes.
surfing.
Which is tough. I mean, listen, that is
Horrible.
a tough childhood. That's horrible.
Now, I haven't watched this. I only watched one other episode. I think last week I watched. So for me, I'm looking at everything from the outside. So that whole conversation with her, to me, explains a lot about her relationship with Danny. Because
Absolutely.
Danny definitely should not drink. And anybody else with a small child in any other kind of relationship would have been like, dude, you need to fucking like stop. Like this, we're done. I'm not doing this. You can't. I can't have it. But I think it seems to me for her, she really wants a stable home life. And I don't think that she would do a lot to rock the boat because it doesn't seem to me like he's a dick. He's just somebody who shouldn't drink. So I feel like she doesn't want to make a big deal out of it because
she's not going to divorce him because
No.
he's a bad drinker.
Because he's a bad drinker. Yeah.
Because
But
the
you know what
next
I mean?
day,
Like
he
she
does
just
show
has
remorse.
Yeah, I just think that she has this thing about
absolutely
really
does.
wanting a stable, happy
Yes.
home life. And I think she's seen a lot worse behavior. So to her, it's not something to make a big deal out of. Maybe she thinks she's going to like outgrow it. Maybe, I don't know. But it just seems to me like that conversation for me made a lot of sense about their
Why
relationship.
she stays. Right.
Yes.
And also, they met in the church. And you don't know this, Lori, but Danny's family was very involved in the church. I believe his parents were like pastors in the church.
His dad's a pastor, yeah.
Yeah. So for Nia, it is very faith-based. And she has said this from season 1 when we met her. When they have problems, they go to counselors. They go to therapy. On the after show, because I didn't finish season 18's after show, but I did episode 18, but I did watch 17. They have been through many, it's just therapists. It's like dating. Like you have to find the one that works for you. So Nia has her own therapist and Danny has his own therapist and they have a couple therapists. And it has taken them many therapists to find the right therapist for them. So it just means to me that she's working on it and she knows that there's issues, but she's not willing to give up and throw in the towel. She takes her wedding vows seriously. And I think that is something that should be commended. I don't think that makes her a weak woman. I think that makes her a strong woman. And it upsets me that she's being painted as this weak woman that allows him to do these things. Because I don't think that that's the case. That's my opinion.
Not at all. Totally agree.
She also says that she wrote a list and she prayed over it at the age of 13 of what she was looking for a husband. And that to her was Daniel. So when she sees people attacking him, meaning Lala, she gets into wifey mama bear mode. I'm sorry. I get that. I so get that. I get that. And Lala gets it too. She says, listen, this is what I do like about Lala. She will admit when she's wrong. She will. She does admit when she's wrong.
Yeah, but then she turns around and did what she did at the end of the episode. So it's like you could say to Nia all you want. I understand. I see where you're coming from, blah, blah, blah. But you still did what you did. I know we'll get there, but it's like.
But you know what? In the after show, she says that she was mad at Janet. She was so mad at Janet because Janet is the one that ultimately winds up throwing the drink. And she's like, Danny was digging his own grave. And then when Janet acted that way, like she was wrong, and she admits that she was wrong. And like I said, Lala is an imperfect person. Lala has had alcohol and abuse issues. She has been in recovery. I think she's 7 years now sober. She takes her recovery very seriously. She's very rooted in the whole recovery process.
But this is the thing, though. So if you are someone who is exactly what you're saying, Wendy, then I understand that she has to work with these people because they are on a television show. But screaming at a drunk that they're a drunk is not effective. Removing yourself and saying, look, I really like you, but I don't like you when you're drinking, and I can't be around you when you're drinking, so I'm gonna remove myself from the situation. She knows. I mean, that's Al-Anon, like, 101. Like, she knows that's what you're supposed to do, so then why are you not
Because she's getting
doing
paid
that?
to do the complete opposite.
To do the complete right, that's where
So,
it kinda
listen,
gets
obviously she's sober and she's on her own journey, but this show is not productive for her in her sobriety because you're absolutely right. She's going against everything AA and Al-Anon stand for.
Yeah.
This whole show is based around them drinking and getting sloppy. So if you don't want to drink with Danny because you don't like the way he acts, get off the fucking show because that's what this show is.
Listen, I don't disagree with that. I don't. But she does need the paycheck because she has 2 children to support, and because her ex that's a whole other story. And she does have a lot of trauma from her ex. And I know that she's in therapy, but I still don't think she's past it. And I think she does project a lot of it onto Danny. I think she does.
Absolutely.
I think she does.
She does.
And honestly, I think if you sat down with her or anybody sat down with her and did a one-on-one, it would be a different conversation because I do listen to her podcast. I listen to her with her brother Easton and her mom, and I listen to her with her ex's ex. And they are BFFs, and they have been through hell and back. And I'm telling you, she is a different person when she's not on this show. And I get it.
Which means that she's performative and shouldn't be on a reality TV show because she's not authentic. She claims to be. She acts all tough, fucking fake Tupac, but she's not. She's really so inauthentic. She's so performative. Like, get off the show. And whatever, we'll get there. When she said in the after show that Danny served himself on a silver platter, how?
Yeah.
By sitting there calmly and apologizing to you, Danny did everything right in that moment.
I agree with
Danny
you.
didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. I agree with you. I totally agree. I think Danny was perfect in that whole situation. I think Janet's the one who lost it. Danny went in there to lay down. He knew he drank too much. And he's like, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. And then Jason came in there and started poking the bear and started sticking his nose where it didn't belong because it wasn't there and he doesn't know what happened. And even when Danny responded to him, he was very calm and saying, you don't know. You weren't there. This doesn't involve you.
Yep.
He didn't freak out. He didn't.
Nope.
And I think that that's what bothers them. I think that bothers them that he is so calm about it. But I'm still team Danny and Nia. I am. And you know, in our comments, a lot of people are still team Nia, but they are not team Danny. And they kind of chastise us for giving Danny a pass. And it's not that I'm giving Danny a pass. I think that Danny is just like all of us. We are not perfect people. I think that Danny tries, and I think that Danny will get there in his own time. This is his journey. I'm just not going to ridicule him because his wife isn't, and she's the one who has to live with him.
Right. And listen, and I know I've said it before, but we are from New Jersey. Guys from New Jersey, New York, Boston. I'm even going to give it to Pennsylvania because they're so close. Listen. They act a certain way. They talk a certain way. The stuff that Danny says sometimes, it doesn't even, like when he said no shit to Lala and she fucking flew off the handle. I'm like, you're flying off the handle because he said no shit to you? Like, I mean, that's how my kids and I talk to each other for crying out loud.
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Get the hell out of here. So I do think it's that kind of thing too for us.
No, I agree because even when you see Jasmine and Zach in the after show, because Jasmine is from New Jersey.
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell she's from New Jersey. She's funny.
Yeah, and she's like, this is like, she's like, these are my, like, I mean, when, I don't even know what they were talking about, but Jasmine's like, I'm from New Jersey. Like, this doesn't faze me. And then they show a clip of Teresa flipping a table.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is what Jersey is. If you know.
That's Sunday dinner.
Right. That is what happens in New Jersey. The three of us, we are Jersey girls. We are Jersey girls. And we have a certain, I don't know if it's tolerance or is it tolerance or it's just what we're used to. So I'm going to just throw this out there. One of my sons, we were having a conversation about like what kind of like girl would be a good girl for him. And I specifically said, I really would like him to find a good Italian girl. I want you to find someone who can make you meatballs. He's like, well, my dad makes me meatballs. I don't like his meatballs. I said, I know how important meatballs are to you. I want you to find yourself a good Italian girl who can make you meatballs. I said this to him. I said, but she's got to have a strong Italian dad. He goes, oh, so if she doesn't have a dad, she's not the girl for me. I said, no, if she has a strong Italian dad, she will know what to look for because her dad will make sure she finds someone who's right for her. I have 3 boys. And I know that this particular boy needs someone who will put him in his place. He's a good kid. He's got good values, but he's cocky AF.
Yeah.
And
so he definitely needs someone to put him in his place.
He needs someone that can put him in his place. And I think personally, a good Italian Jersey girl, and I'm Italian. I know you don't think I'm Italian. No one thinks I'm Italian because I have red hair, but I'm Italian. He needs a good Jersey girl with a good Jersey Italian dad behind her to put him in his place. I know that sounds crazy. He's like, oh, so I'm going to go up to someone in a bar and say, okay, you don't have a dad. My mom says I can't date you. I was like, that is not what I just said. But
they're always trying to start trouble.
I know. That's just. I'm just giving you a little flavor of Jersey. I think that like
that's what I mean. I just think I don't know. Like we don't think Danny's the monster that Janet and Lala are trying to make him out to be.
No,
that's all.
We don't.
But let me ask you this.
Should he drink? Absolutely not. He should not drink.
Right. No. So besides getting tanked up and maybe a little handsy here and there, which you know what? I don't mind handsy. It's all right.
I mean, listen, if one of my friends, male friends, put his hand on my thigh and said, go get daddy a drink, I would laugh hysterical.
And then go get him a drink.
Get him a drink. Yeah. And you say, here, daddy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care.
Mama brought it for you. Fuck off. You know?
We don't care.
Just, yeah. But I'm asking you guys, so other than drinking, stuffing food in his face,
oh my gosh,
a little handsy, what else does he do?
He does get disrespectful to his wife. He speaks obnoxiously to his wife. He does. We saw it. We say we never saw Dark Side Danny, but I was thinking about it. We did see Dark Side Danny in the episode where they did the pageant, the way he was treating Nia and talking to Nia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He gets disrespectful to his wife. Absolutely. But that's what we were saying before. So they take that and they go to therapy, and then he just shouldn't drink. I don't think he does it when he's not drinking.
Some people turn into somebody else when they drink.
Yes.
Some people don't just be like, oh, go to sleep. Some people do. Yeah.
And the worst thing you can do when someone's in that space is tell them to stop drinking. You drank too much. You're drunk. It's the worst thing you can say to them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So after the whole Lala conversation, she's hopeful that they can have space to become friends. Okay. I'm hopeful for that too. The next thing we see is Luke and Kristen are talking after Kaya goes to sleep, and they're talking about the therapist. Luke feels like the therapist didn't listen to him. He felt like he needed to defend himself about everything that was discussed.
Well, I think you do need to defend yourself.
Luke's getting a lot of hate online.
I know, and I don't like it. I'll be honest with you.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Even when I watched Luke on the after show with Jesse and Danny. It's the 3 of them on the after show. Jesse and Danny are sitting there in their proper... They are LA guys. Jesse and Danny are LA guys. Luke is in his jeans and his shirt. Luke is a country boy.
Baseball cap. Yep.
That is who Luke is. Let Luke be Luke.
Luke's getting hate online because of how he's defending Danny.
Definitely.
They're not saying that. They're saying it's how he's treating Kristen, but I think that's what it is.
But every time... Kristen doesn't have a problem with it. And Kristen has come out and said it many times. Like, she understands it. She said, this is where he should be telling me this in therapy. I can't get mad at him for saying this to me. I'm asking him to tell me what the problem is. Everyone wants her to be mad at him for him expressing his feelings because they don't like it. But she's okay with it because that's why they're in therapy. Like, this is, to me, like, the dumbest argument ever.
Totally.
It really is. they go about like they go back and forth about like pregnant Kristen, and Luke brings up again he wants to have another child because he knows that what's going on right now is a temporary thing, and he just wants to get past that phase. He doesn't want to get past that phase with Kaya and then start it over again. Like he wants to just do this marathon and get it over with. And I will tell you this. When I was trying to conceive in the very beginning, I remember the doctor telling me, once in diapers, stay in diapers. And that is what Luke is trying to do. Once in diapers, stay in diapers. Like if this is your person and you know you're going to get through it, just power through it. And that's what he wants to do.
I think he feels like this is such a stressful phase in their life. So like you said, let's just bang it out.
Let's power through it. Yeah.
Yep. And then, couple years down the line,
I kind of took it a little bit different. I was kind of like, I don't think that he means it exactly how it sounds when he says it. But I don't know. I just didn't feel real good about it. And I couldn't see how she could feel good about it. I mean, someone saying that, they don't want you to act how you act when you're pregnant. Well, how would you act if you were I don't know. It just didn't.
I think he was saying that. Right. I think he was saying that. Listen, first of all, when he got engaged to her, she wasn't pregnant, and he didn't know what to expect from pregnant Kristen. Right? He had no idea. And then once he got pregnant Kristen, he's like, okay, so this is what I've got. And now he's got postpartum Kristen, right? Which is a totally different Kristen. And he's like, okay, now I know what I have in front of me. Like, I'm here for the long haul. Like, let's get through this, and then we'll get to the other side and it'll be good. That's how I see it. I mean, I think that that's how he sees it too. You don't think Kristen sees it that way? Because when
I don't know. I think that she was probably definitely hurt by it. I think that she was
I think Luke might very well be the most authentic person on a reality TV show. Says
he does seem very
whatever
authentic.
He's feeling.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Like, I think he just says things and doesn't think about it, which is what we want to see.
Right.
But it's good and bad because
it's good and bad. Yeah.
We don't really know where, we can all sit here and guess what we think he meant, but he said it.
He knows what he meant. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, even the other thing he says in the after show is, he's never been in therapy until he moved to LA. Like his idea of dealing with problems is he would go into the wilderness and go into the quiet and just think about it and get through it. He is in a whole new world for him. This whole LA world and Kristen's world, and he loves her and he's there to do it. And he's like, listen, I've never done this therapy thing, but guess what? It is helping. It is helping. So I'm going to keep doing it, but I never did this before.
And the fact that he doesn't want to stay in LA has to be a whole other issue. He really doesn't want to raise his kids there.
But I think that Kristen knows that. I think she knows that. She knows that they're not going to raise their children there. And I think he's good for her. I do. I think that they will be okay. I do. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
But I do like them as a couple.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I mean, listen, this is the healthiest relationship we've ever seen Kristen in.
I totally agree. Yeah. The next thing we see is Michelle. She's at her West Hollywood house with Isabella. Her friend Natalie comes over.
We are really trying to make Natalie happen, aren't we?
I know. They do like Natalie. They do.
I
don't think she's going to happen. I don't think she's going to happen.
She's not happening. Not after Jasmine checks her at that party.
No. Michelle said she feels like now that divorce is over, she can finally move forward. And I'm glad for her. I think that that's what she needs to do. She also lets us know that...
sound like Jesse's going to make it very easy for her.
No.
Is he kind of a tool?
Yes, 100%.
I mean, yes, he is.
I like him, but he's a big old tool. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a tool. And like you just said, there's something very endearing about him because I do like him as well. But he is a tool. But I wouldn't write him off because I like him.
Right.
I do like him. I do.
Me too.
Michelle wants to own her own home, and her goal for next year is $50 million because even her parents, they always rented places. They never owned their own place. And I'm like, good for you, Michelle. She's out there hustling. She's out there selling houses. And I love that for her. I did think it was interesting that she said that Isabella keeps taking cash for her. And she's like, where's it going? She's like, oh, I put it in my piggy bank at Dad's house. Well, give her a piggy bank at your house so you make sure Dad's not taking it. Like,
seriously.
Right?
Jesse,
why is it going to Dad's piggy bank?
Debt, man. Jesse has mad debt. Get that piggy bank at your house. What are we doing?
I know. The next thing we see is Lacey in her confessional. She's talking about, Lacey and Jesse go to Beverly Hills Babies. Jesse makes uncomfortable jokes. And in her confessional, she said she's been dealing with stage 4 endometriosis for the last 10 years. And she finally got pregnant after that.
Very painful. I feel bad for her.
I didn't even know that, honestly, I didn't know there were different stages of endometriosis. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, my friend had like surgery for it.
It's very painful. I know. I knew that there was surgery, but she she's been worried about this. And, she wants to have other children. So she's worried about whether or not she can conceive again, because I guess the last visit with this Dr. Arnold, he kind of made her think that he was going to have to remove one of her.
Yeah, she had a bad cyst on it.
Ovaries,
ovaries, right. And they had talks about whether they're going to freeze her eggs or if they were going to have them fertilized and freeze embryos with Jesse. And when they get to the doctor's appointment, she's like, you know what? I'm not ready to do that. Like, I would rather just freeze my eggs, but let's see what's going on. So they do the exam, and the doctor says that one ovary is okay. It's doing better, and I don't think I'm going to have to remove it. And he showed her the other one was making eggs. So that's good news. I'm happy for her.
It is.
Happy for
her. Like that. I thought that was like a real genuine response where she was like, well, that's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Listen, anybody who would have a pelvic ultrasound.
Yeah. On national television.
And get taped while doing it.
Yes.
Kudos.
Okay. Kudos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is the Halloween party night. Danny is Count Bucula, which, by the way, as much as I like Danny in character is the most annoying person on the planet.
Very annoying. I totally agree. Very annoying.
I don't know how Nia deals with Danny in character, but once he's in character, he cannot get out. He can't get out.
That's what's annoying. Yeah.
That's what's annoying.
The house looked great, though, and that charcuterie board looked awesome.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nia is Nia and Danny are at Kristen and Luke's house, I guess, pre-gaming before the party, and she's nursing the baby. Like, you can't pump. You literally have to bring this baby everywhere with you.
I think the baby doesn't take the bottle. The baby doesn't take the bottle. That was her whole issue. The baby wouldn't take the bottle.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I think she's very capable of pumping.
Man. That's a lot.
That's what her complaint was. That's why she was so overwhelmed and stressed, is because the baby wouldn't take the bottle.
Right.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's her. I think she'd be very happy to give that child a bottle. The baby won't take it.
That's a lot, man. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
That's a lot. Ooh. So we also find out that at midnight, it's also Michelle's 37th birthday. And Lala says she's going to kiss her at midnight. Okay, Lala. Thank you.
What was Janet dressed as, by the way?
I have no idea.
Like, she never understands the assignment with the dressing.
Yeah.
It
was weird that other chick was kind of dressed in the same kind of outfit.
You know what? Listen, I know there's a lot going on online about this, but honestly, from the back, other than the hair, they were wearing identical outfits.
They were wearing identical.
They really were. So my husband would not remember. I'm gonna really defend
if you
Jason
had your hair
here.
in a bun or
in a bun or a long braid.
Yeah,
no. If he's gonna come up behind me, he's coming up behind me. He's not really paying attention to my hair. I can tell you that.
He saw the shirt. That's what she's wearing. And that's,
yeah.
I just think it's ironic. I just think it's very ironic.
I totally agree with you.
I'm just going to say that. I think it's very ironic, and I feel like everyone needs to run with it as far as they can. That's
I think they will.
Say.
I think they will. I don't think it was intentional. I do really think he thought it was Janet, though.
I know. I do too. Absolutely, he did. He absolutely did. I don't think he was intoxicated at all. I think you're absolutely right. But again, let people run with it because
for sure,
why not?
For sure,
why not? Right.
The irony is funny.
It really is. So Lala, Janet, and Michelle are talking about the group chat with Kristen, Nia, and Zach, and Lala is telling them that what Kristen told her and Brittany at her photo shoot is that. And then while they're talking, Zach comes in, is that Nia, what did she say? Manipulates Zach. And Janet said, I thought Zach and I were moving in a good direction. And Zach said, well, we were, but then the Chili's issue came up. And Janet said, well, Lala said, Brittany said, the whole thing. And he said, yeah, but everything changed after Chili's, and you could see that. Listen, not only was he so upset at Chili's, but he literally shit himself. That's how upset he was. I mean, come on. Give him a break. Poor Zach, right?
So you don't think he was using the shitting thing to get out of explaining?
No. Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. No, I don't think he was.
I think if it were anybody else, I would question it. I think with Zach, I think he really did shit himself.
Right.
No, he did.
I'm not saying that he made it up. I'm just saying, did he bring that up to try and steer the conversation away from where it was heading?
Probably.
That's what I'm saying.
Because when Zach is talking to Nia about it, Zach is like, there's no way you're manipulating me. Like, if anyone, I'm the one who's manipulating the situation. Zach knows who he is. Nia is not a master manipulator. Let's be real. That is not who Nia is.
I could totally see, and listen, we're all like this, like, oh, you're with your bestie.
Right. Just poking. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what Kristen was referring to. She wasn't saying that Nia was manipulating Zach and saying you can't talk to them, because Zach would never listen to Nia.
Because he's going to do what he wants to do anyway.
Use the words guilt trip.
She did.
I mean, she did. So
she did.
But I don't think.
But she only used them. But she only used them. Right. But she only used them because that was the words already used in the conversation that was going on.
Like Brittany said, you guilt trip Zach, and she said, no, I don't. Maybe Nia does. Right. So when Kristen does say, you said that, and Brittany's like, Kristen, she really did say that.
She did say
that.
Right.
Okay. Yes, that is exactly what happened.
But she should have explained that maybe the verbiage was incorrect, and she could have easily explained exactly what she meant, but then we wouldn't have a show.
Yeah. So when this whole argument's going on, Janet said, I thought we were moving forward, and Zach said, we're taking baby steps. And he's like, listen, you can have your 3 best friends here, and I can't even have Kristen over here. So she's like, all right, go get Kristen. So, and Jesse's standing there at this time, and Jesse says, well, I'm here. And Janet's like, oh, God. And she walks away.
She gets right up and walks away.
She walks away because Jesse was there. But meanwhile, Zach was going to get Kristen, but as soon as Jesse said, because as soon as Jesse was there, Janet's like, no. So she gets up and she walks away. Now, at this point, it's Jesse and Michelle sitting on the couches because Janet walked away. And then Jesse goes on talking to Michelle. It's come to my attention for the last 3 months, you've actually been secretly dating a comedian. And Michelle said, well, it's my client. Jesse said, you asked me to watch Isabella for an extra weekend to go to Vegas for work, and I was sent videos of you guys in bathing suits. Okay.
I didn't love this, I'll be honest with you. And I wish that these two would keep this. I wish Jesse, because he's the one that initiated this, would keep their custody, and I wish he would keep it off the show. I think they have enough going on where they don't need this for their storyline.
To drag the daughter into it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not good. Because honestly, if the daughter only met the guy at a showing, it's really not a big deal.
It's nothing.
It's not a big deal.
Absolutely.
Right.
It is. I totally agree with you. Because just last week we were saying how much we love that scene with Jesse and Michelle. And then the following week, we get this when he's talking about the box and all the memories and how much he loves, Isabella was made out of love. And then the next week, we get this. I'm like, oh, I completely agree with you on this. I do.
Yeah, I don't want to see it because it's very uncomfortable, especially when the daughter's involved.
Yeah.
And she's right. He does one day.
Yeah, he does seem like a little bit like, controlling. Like you're proving it right by that kind of behavior because
absolutely.
Yeah.
Guess what? If you're divorced, your ex-wife is going to date people. So I don't know what you think is going to go on, but
the whole thing is he's bringing up the child.
Dr. Dre, right?
Yeah. The whole thing is when he brings up the child. Like, that's what that's where the whole problem lies. Like, if she was dating, that's fine. But why do you have to bring up Isabella? Like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that.
Because that's the way he can control her dating somebody or not, by saying he doesn't want Isabella to be introduced. So and we know damn well if he and Lacey breaks up and he starts dating somebody, he's introducing Isabella right away.
Right. So it's just,
it's hypocritical.
It doesn't, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Because yes, you can, I understand the sentiment behind it, that you don't want your daughter to be introduced to all these people and then the people move on and they're not in their life. But there's really nothing that you can do about it.
So then Michelle leaves and then Jasmine walks in and Jesse's like, what the fuck just happened? And he tells Jasmine that she's been dating this famous comedian for 3 months. And Jasmine said, she doesn't even laugh how she's dating a comedian, which
was so funny, dude. That was so funny.
I was like,
Jasmine.
So
good, Jasmine. So good, Jasmine.
So then Jesse goes in. Like, the problem is about, she introduced him and the whole thing with Aaron, and I'm effing pissed. So Jasmine immediately goes up to Michelle, who happens to be with Janet, and said, what's going on?
I think Jasmine had quite a few at this point.
Definitely.
I think she was
definitely
a little tanked up.
Definitely she had quite a few. And Michelle's friend, Natalie, was there. And then Jasmine is going at it with Natalie. And Michelle is explaining to Jasmine, like, about the listing. And it just was getting messy, to be quite honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this did not need to happen. Now, meanwhile, while all this is going on, Nia's in the kitchen with Danny and asking him if he's drunk. And he said, no, I'm not drunk. But he was. He 100% was
definitely
drunk.
Was.
Yeah.
He definitely was drunk.
Yeah. And Janet is jumping in on the whole conversation with Jasmine and saying, you're only hearing Jesse's side. And she's like, he's crying to me. But again, Janet didn't need to be jumping in on this. Just like,
Natalie
Jasmine
did jumped in.
Natalie, but neither should have Jasmine, to be honest with you.
No.
Especially not in
it was ridiculous.
Right.
But listen, Jasmine's going to take any opportunity she can to get some camera time at these parties.
Right. No, she absolutely is, because that's actually when we see her activated the most, because Jasmine is telling Natalie that she needs to calm down. I'm like, okay, well, all right. And then
she did that the last time in Brittany's kitchen. She was telling somebody, I think it was Michelle. She was telling her to calm down. And Michelle was like, I'm pretty sure you're the one who needs to calm down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then the bitch came out, called me. It's funny.
Yeah.
But listen, and then that was like a in the city Yvonne to Danielle to Yvonne. Like, are you talking about me, bitch? Like, it was one of those.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't like
one
you
of those.
Fucking bitch. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Well, again, people who are not from New Jersey don't know that there's categories of the word bitch.
That's right.
I could call you and be like,
that's in a non-offensive category of bitch.
Right.
Bitch.
There's different levels to the bitch.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
you're my bitch. Like, there's
that's
all
right.
different.
Right.
So while all this is going on outside, Nia is in the kitchen talking to Zach, and she said, I had a conversation with Lala the other day, and she said that Kristen said you were very flip-floppy with the whole Janet thing, but she said, I'm the one manipulating you. And Zach is like, okay, like, there's no way if anyone's doing the manipulating, it's me. And we all know that. Like, anybody who knows or has seen Zach and Nia's not a manipulator. And then Kristen walks into the kitchen when Zach and Nia are talking, and she's like, what's going on? And she's like, well, Lala said that I'm the manipulator, and then Brittany walks in, and then the whole thing starts to explode again. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is craziness. This is the worst party ever.
So Brittany says nobody said manipulate, but nobody said manipulate in the conversation at the photo shoot. But Lala did say manipulate, right? When she repeated, listen,
so
it's
she
always
changed the
semantics. It's always semantics on these shows. But Lala did use the word manipulate, right? Like Nia and Zach didn't make up the word manipulate. Lala did actually use it, right?
Yes,
No, I
believe
agree.
That's true. I believe
yes,
that's
I
true.
think that's what happened. And Kristen is saying she doesn't make Zach feel bad. Like Nia doesn't make Zach feel bad because that's what Brittany was saying. And Brittany, then she starts yelling, you literally said that Nia is the one that manipulates. Then she said it, Zach. And Kristen said, no. And then Zach said, Brittany, I believe her. And that's when she really got pissed. And she's like, I have known him for over 18 years. And she has. I mean, he was from Kentucky. He moved from Kentucky to be, because Brittany was here. Like, he does know her for a long time.
I think they met at college, yeah.
Yeah.
They met in college.
And Brittany is pissed off that he does not have her back. And I don't know. I mean, this reunion doesn't look like it's going to be good.
I don't think Kristen should have, like, the way Kristen was acting was like her hands were totally clean. Her hands were not clean.
No.
She did say, I don't guilt trip Zach, Nia does. Listen, it could mean
like I said,
a lot of different things, but she said it.
Right. But she could have explained.
That's what she should have done.
She should have explained that my verbiage wasn't necessarily, on par. I was just parroting what you said. And she could have explained, but that's always on these shows, that all anybody needs to do is explain themselves, but then we wouldn't have a show. So
Exactly.
So when Lala's in her confessional, she said, let's just say I did hear Kristen say it. And if she's going to lie about it, it's only because Nia is right there in front of her. And so I was right about who the ringleader is. Lala thinks that Nia is the ringleader. I mean,
Lala's
come on,
just
Lala.
mad that she's not the ringleader.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
How about Schwartzy asking the bartender if he could Venmo him?
Oh my God, Schwartzy is such a Schwartzy. He makes me laugh. He really is.
That's so dumb, like funny. I would say.
So funny.
So back outside, Jesse's trying to get Danny to drink some water because he really is drunk. And he does. He goes to the bar. They get some water. Danny's shoveling food in his mouth and he goes to lay down.
Drunk, but not acting like a douchebag.
No.
Just drunk. Just drunk and shoveling the food in.
Right. And then he goes to lay down on the couch. And then Jason comes in. Right. Jason comes in with his crutches to sit down and rest. And Danny
says it's the only place he can go.
Bullshit.
She's got a whole house inside. There's a whole living room set up.
Foot up inside, yeah.
Yep.
No, he came to poke the bear.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. And Janet says to Lala, will you come with me? Because Jason's in there alone with Danny. What are you afraid of? Well, listen, Jason, with all due, Danny would kick your ass.
Clean his clock.
Cleaned his clock. Clean his clock.
Yeah, definitely.
You really think so?
Really, Janet, you think your husband is that much
he's
of
got
a
a bum leg.
PUSSY?
Even without even with a working leg,
without the bum leg.
I can look at that and say, no, Danny would clean his clock. Absolutely.
Yeah. But you think your husband's that much of a, and I won't say the word PUSSY, that you have to go in there? No, you wanted to go in there.
Yeah,
and you needed fake Tupac to go with you. I'm surprised Lala didn't pull out her do-rag and put it on before she walked into the little makeshift room. So she could really be thug in the moment.
Why does she try and be thug?
Oh my God.
That's laughable. I only watched 2 episodes and I think that's laughable.
And by the way, she's from an affluent neighborhood right outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. There is nothing thug about Lala. And she was effing that fat guy because he owned a private jet who screwed her over, who she had her daughter Ocean with. Because nobody looked at that guy, Randall, and was like, I got to get on that immediately. So
Is this the no
there's
neck
nothing
guy?
thug about Lala.
Is that
Yes, the no neck guy.
Okay.
No
Yes,
neck.
yes,
Yes.
no neck.
No neck.
Yes.
I know
Fatso, yep.
small bits of information.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. Social media can be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, inconsequential, small bits of information, but I have.
So, I mean, we can go into this whole thing, but really basically what happens is Danny and Jason are kind of going out at it. Janet comes in with Lala. Lala says, finally, she's like, well, I heard that you wanted to apologize to me. And Danny says, for what? And then he does apologize for saying, you know, go back to your husband.
Yeah.
Right. Then Danny says to Jason, oh, you've never blacked out? And Janet yells, yeah, he's blacked out, but he's never grabbed a woman's ass. That's the difference. And Danny said he doesn't know. And Dan said, like, you guys are both idiots. And Janet said, well, you were a 5'7". And Jason's like, don't do that. And then she gets up and she throws the drink in Danny's face and the cup. I mean, it's a solo cup.
Head.
I mean, it's a plastic solo cup. Like, let's call it what it is, right?
Right.
Here's
and
my
it wasn't
question,
even
though.
full.
Danielle Cabral got suspended from filming for doing the same thing to Jennifer Aiden. So where were the consequences? Did Janet face any consequences for this is my question?
It was a season finale. It was a season finale.
But it doesn't seem like she faced any consequences, right? And if Andy doesn't shame her for doing that at the reunion, it's complete bullshit. Because why? Because he's a man? He deserves that behavior because he's a man?
Right. If it's, not good for the goose, it shouldn't be good for the gander.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Exactly.
No, I totally
And Jennifer
agree.
Aiden had it coming to her.
Yeah, she did. But it would kind of seem like even then, Lala was like,
Well, Lala was pissed at Janet.
Yeah.
She was pissed at Janet, and she said it then. She said, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. And she said it on the after show.
And by the way, Janet's only regret was that she wasn't drinking red wine.
Yeah.
She has no remorse. This is the thing. Danny might act like an asshole when he drinks, but he at least shows remorse the next day. He apologized to Lala. He didn't have to do that. That girl rage baits him every time she's around him. And the drunker he is, the more she goes in.
Right, like a badger.
Yep.
Yeah, she is. She really is. She is. I mean, Janet calls him a tiny fool. Danny gets up and walks out. He goes over to Zach and Nia and said, they just threw drinks in my face. And Zach and Nia said, who? And Danny said, Janet. Nia goes up to Kristen and said, Daniel's covered in alcohol now because Janet just threw a drink at him. Now, Kristen is like going to go ballistic. And she's like, he did not. And she repeats it again. And Kristen goes over to Janet and said, you should go. I was like, oh. And then Janet's like, well, you go get Brittany. You go get Brittany and have her tell me I should leave. And Lala's like, it's not okay what she did.
Here's my hypothesis. Jax was totally trying to get Danny and, do what he was doing to Danny. Brittany was 100% complicit. Janet knows how complicit Brittany was in this because Janet was in on it.
Right.
Brittany will never go against Janet because of this. So that's probably why Janet said, well, go get Brittany and let's see what she says. She's not going to go against Janet because Janet knows where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah. Well, she didn't. I mean, Kristen didn't. So Nia's like, listen, we need to leave. Like, my heart's beating through my chest. I don't want to be around these like terrible humans. And Danny's like, me too. So Nia's like, how can you sit here and be so calm? Because he was, based on what had just happened, he was very calm. He wasn't crazy. He was like...
That's why fake Tupac's comment about serving himself up on a silver platter made no sense. He did everything right in the moment, you jackass.
He did. So Danny's like, listen, I know what I'm dealing with. It's like Dumb and Dumber. And meanwhile, outside, Schwartz is announcing it's 1 minute till Michelle's birthday. And Brittany goes and gets her the cake. And Danny and Nia are leaving because they don't feel welcome here. I'm like, this is so disjointed, this whole thing. They're singing happy birthday. Lala kisses Michelle.
Right. Well, meanwhile, the other two are leaving.
Right. Jason says to Janet, it's so strange. Like, why are they
so obsessed with you? It's like, Jason, blink twice if you need help. Like, are you that manipulated? Are you that hypnotized by whatever Skeletor Janet has going on that you don't, like, obsessed with her? She's all over Danny's shit all the time.
I know. That's exactly what I wrote. I actually think it's the other way around. She's obsessed with Danny. And even in Zach's confessional just before that, he's like, I don't know where to go. I just think Janet has to get over herself. She's such a disingenuous person. Like, let's put it this way. If Janet was not here, this would be an entirely different dynamic. And I totally agree with him. If Janet was not on.
Even Lala said to Janet at some point, I think you just need to let this go.
Yes, she did. She did.
So this is the deal, if I have this correctly. Danny grabbed one of Janet's friends' asses when they were
Jasmine's.
drunk.
Either Jasmine or Melissa's. It was one of them.
It was Jasmine's.
Off season. It was not on camera. And he had a conversation with them. This goes back to last season. It was before last season. He had a conversation with them and apologized and did not think it was going to be brought up on the show. And then it was brought up on the show.
So Janet has a problem that he did that to somebody else.
Right.
So it's not to her.
And Janet said last season that he sexually assaulted someone. Those were the words she used. And she has never apologized for using those words. And that is Danny and Nia's problem. Like, that is not damaging. That is career ending.
Yeah. That's horrible.
Horrible.
That's horrible.
Yes.
It is.
So that's her whole problem. It's not like she was really good friends with Nia and it's upsetting her that Danny gets tuned up and then maybe talks to her. No. So then what is she doing?
She doesn't give a shit about that. No. Now, I want our listeners to please weigh in here and tell us if you think Danny did anything wrong this evening to have it ended the way it did, to warrant getting a wine and a Solo cup thrown at his head. Did Danny do anything to warrant that? Because I don't think he did. He pointed at Janet. He wasn't. Listen, I'm not. It doesn't offend me when somebody points at me.
No, come on. This is the land of hand gestures.
I have a more habit of pointing. Like when I talk, I point. So it's not a big deal to me. But he was across the makeshift room.
He wasn't even in her face.
It wasn't in her face. That's the worst thing he did. Get the fuck out of here. What are we doing?
Stop it.
Can't take it. And the fact that we have to sit through a 3-part reunion is driving me nuts.
So no one knows what her problem is.
Her problem is
actually
that
we don't.
Jax wanted Danny and Nia off the show, and Janet was 100% complicit, and it wasn't working. And the producer of this show is Alex Baskin, and he is Jax's coke buddy. So he is going to do whatever he has to do to continue this pursuit of getting these people off the show, and it's nonsense. It's nonsense.
Tangled web.
Okay, so we're at an hour.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, guys.
Thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and let us know if you think Danny did anything wrong this episode. Not all season, just a specific episode. Let us know what you think Danny did wrong.
Right.
Okay?
Besides getting tanked and shoving food in his yap, other than that.
Yeah, but that's all.
But he didn't do anything to anybody. And you know what? In the end, it's his wife's problem.
Exactly.
It's his wife's problem.
No marriage is perfect. If this is what she deals with, and they go to therapy and they work it out,
right? This is her gig,
right?
Yeah, that's weird. That I thought there was going to be some whole like backstory to Janet's malfunction. And I'm like,
well,
okay.
She came up with a backstory this season. We'll fill you in off camera because the listeners already know.
Okay. Well, it better be really good because so far nothing's making sense.
You're not buying it, and she shouldn't be selling it. I got you.
No.
Amen to that.
All right.
Okay, until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Bye.
Take them out. Bye. Good night.